A woman loses an eye after being tased by a Georgia deputy in jail. This body camera video, hard to watch. It shows Ashanti Walls on the ground in agony. The woman's attorney argues she was punished for a psychotic episode. I'm Sean Gables.
And I'm Rick Fulbaum. We're glad you're with us. And tonight, an Atlanta News First investigation raising some brand new questions about the treatment of Georgia's mentally ill inmates.
Investigative reporter Sierra Cummings joins us in studio with more on the story. Sierra.
Yeah, the GBI investigation cleared the Butts County deputy of criminal wrongdoing, but the GBI is only tasked with determining if a deputy broke the law. Ask Ashanti Walls. This is instead about policy. She was diagnosed with mental illness, yet went unmedicated. Jail staff considered her unpredictable. Her attorneys claim the first line of defense for deputies wrongfully became tasing.
Taser deployed and the inmate is on the floor.
On the floor of the Butts County Jail, Ashanti Walls, who had just been tased, the taser prong still stuck inside her eye.
I was a mess. I was a nervous wreck. You know, I would never mean to do that to anyone. You know, it really hit me hard.
Walls sees things differently.
It was point and shoot.
After all, being tased in the eye completely changed her sight.
It hurts, it itches, it's painful. There's no eyeball there at all.
And there has not been since that day, September 10th, 2021. The tasing incident resulted in an emergency surgery called enucleation, or total loss and removal of the eye globe.
When I cry, it hurts, it burns, and it's just very uncomfortable, so I try not to cry.
The district attorney decided against criminally charging the officer involved, determining the agency acted lawfully. The decision came after the Georgia Bureau of Investigations reviewed the case, studying records, interviewing officers, including the sergeant who deployed the weapon, who explained it this way.
As soon as the door is open, I guess she's like in a crouched down, because like I said, I was like this and I couldn't see her. And I guess she was crouched down, and as soon as that door popped, it was just like, bam, she just forcefully pushed it open.
The sergeant told investigators her body camera malfunctioned, so it did not record the moments leading up to the incident or the tasing itself. And the jail surveillance has one angle, no sound.
Officer Brown had the tray in his hand. I had already had my taser out, prepared, because...
Based on her past history.
Yeah, based on her, yeah, correct.
Walls had already been tased twice before. This May the 3rd, jail documents show staff describe aggression, delusions, yelling, Walls urinating on herself and defecating in the cell in the days leading up to the tasings.
Something was wrong mentally.
The 58-year-old is diagnosed as bipolar schizophrenic. Despite signs of something being wrong, records we obtained reveal she was not offered medication during her first 5 days in jail, meaning the same period in which her alleged behavior resulted in 3 different tasings, she went unmedicated. In fact, her medical file shows she only got medication for her mental illness after the loss of her eye. Walls' attorney, Aaron Durden.
Without the medication and confined in the space, only worsens the condition.
When someone is arrested and when they get to the jail, Butts County Sheriff's own policy says staff should classify inmates to enhance safety and for humane treatment using behavioral patterns and any special needs. A proactive measure to minimize risk and maximize care for those at risk. But when we asked for records to see whether staff completed that process on Walls, the agency said there are no records.
And what's disturbing is, why have a policy if you're not going to follow it?
Durden argues instead of following or implementing protocols for responding to inmates experiencing symptoms associated with psychotic episodes, the mentally ill behavior is met with the punishment of a prong.
So it seems as if the protocol for her was walk in, be ready to taser, let's just go with that.
What would be a circumstance you'd use, say, pepper spray instead of a taser? Or they really said that?
I'm not really sure. In my opinion, I don't think the pepper spray would have been successful.
Right.
In this situation, due to her being so violent already, and in a altered mental state.
When I do my training courses, and then people ask you, what's the best way to do things or prevent tragedies? I write on the blackboard, or I have a PowerPoint slide that says ITTS, and that stands for It's the Training, Stupid. because people do what they train to do.
It's why nationally recognized clinical and forensic psychologist and use of force expert Dr. Lawrence Miller explains law enforcement, particularly in jails, should have more training using force without a weapon when possible.
You can have several personnel, 3 or 4 or 5 personnel, who can physically but safely restrain an inmate.
But he maintains the best line of defense is prior evaluation and treatment.
If this lady had been having her psychotic symptoms controlled in a medical way, she probably wouldn't have been in that situation to have gotten out of control, been in that fearful/angry state to begin with.
A crucial consideration as mentally ill people are represented in county jails at twice the rate they are in the state's general population, with their average stay roughly double the average stay of those without mental illness. A likely factor data shows is linked to behavior stemming from undertreated or untreated psychotic episodes, a situation Walls cannot bear to see again.
I keep going because, I have to still live, and I can't allow this to stop me from whatever I have to do.
Well, the body camera video clearly is going to play a big role in this case. But Sierra, what did the Butts County Sheriff's Office have to say about all of this?
Well, after nearly 8 months of reaching out to the Sheriff's Office, they had not provided comment or an interview. But after my 4 p.m. story aired tonight, the sheriff's spokesperson called saying the sheriff is now willing to talk to us, offering an interview or comment. We will share that with you once we have it.
All right, Sierra, thanks very much.